Hello, and welcome to the Wish session on unlocking your global e-commerce potential. Before we get started, I'd like to give a big thank you to the Payoneer team for inviting us to do this session. I hope through this session you'll be able to understand a little bit more about what the global e-commerce landscape looks like, but also what the opportunities look like out there, and maybe how Wish can help you achieve some of those goals. I'd love to share how Wish has been able to partake in opening up a bunch of opportunities for sellers in new emerging markets, as well as current large dominating markets in the e-commerce landscape. First, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Sarah. I am the Global Business Development Director for Wish, and I've been with the company for about 7.5 years. For the last 7.5 years, I've had the distinct opportunity to not only see how global e-commerce has evolved and advanced throughout the times, but also be a part of that. I've been able to see how emerging markets have kind of dominated in new e-commerce areas, as well as kind of how a lot of new users and new sellers have been able to embrace what cross-border e-commerce and global e-commerce looks like. Hopefully today I can talk to you a little bit more about that and also kind of give a background on Wish and how we can help you unlock your global e-commerce potential. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's talk a little bit about the global e-commerce landscape. So I'm sure most of you know, but since 2014, e-commerce sales growth worldwide has grown pretty heavily. So in 2014, when worldwide e-commerce sales was starting to become a thing, where cross-border sellers were really starting to ramp up, we were only looking at about $1.3 trillion worth of sales. Of course, trillions are really big numbers, so it's not to say that it wasn't a big number, but we've definitely grown a lot and could potentially grow nearly 5x in 2021. According to eMarketer, in 2019, we did about $3.5 trillion retail e-commerce sales worldwide. And in 2020, it's looking to be about $4.1 trillion. With COVID-19 happening right now and everyone is social distancing and at home and normal omni-channel shopping is not as much as an option anymore, this number could potentially be even higher. In 2021, it could be expected to hit nearly $5 trillion. So it goes without saying that e-commerce sales are growing consistently across the globe, and it's definitely an area of investment. Now let's look at retail e-commerce sales broken down by region. Without any surprise, Asia Pacific takes the trophy here. They are the leader in retail e-commerce sales worldwide, looking at about $2.4 trillion worth of e-commerce spending. North America comes in second place at about $749 billion worth of sales, and Western Europe comes pretty close at $498 billion worth of sales. As I mentioned before, retail e-commerce spending in 2019 was about $3.9 trillion. So like I said, it's no surprise that Asia is at the top of their game, right? China, Southeast Asia, Northeast Asia, all of these areas have very sophisticated and advanced e-commerce platforms, and the users have also grown accustomed to purchasing things online or mobile or just generally on a handheld device. In North America, it's growing, but it's definitely not quite at Asia Pacific levels yet. Now, we already know that these three will be the powerhouses. They'll be the dominating forces when it comes to retail e-commerce sales. But what about Central and Eastern Europe, Latin America, and Middle East and Africa? You'd actually be surprised, maybe not so surprised, to see that their growth is actually outpacing the three predecessors. So if we look at retail e-commerce sales growth worldwide by region, these three regions are actually growing much faster than all the other regions in the world. Central and Eastern Europe are looking at about 21.5% growth in 2020, Middle East and Africa at about 19.8%, and Latin America at about 19.4%. All three of these regions are outpacing the worldwide average of about 16.5%. What this says is they might have started out as small regions, or maybe their current proportion is still smaller compared to their predecessors, but that doesn't mean that they're there to be overlooked. If anything, these are areas are great for investment and definitely areas that you'll want to take back. You'll want to take a look at and also take a step back and kind of take a wider perspective and see where you can also invest in so that you can kind of be ahead of the wave this time around. But regardless, no matter which area or region you're interested in investing in, you definitely want to look at worldwide sales. Domestic sales are continuously doing well. We have a lot of sellers on Wish who sell only in the US and continue to do really well. But you could double or triple your sales potentially if you opened up the gates to a bunch of other countries in the world. And Wish can definitely help you do that. Now I'd like to go into an About Wish section so that you can understand what Wish does and how Wish can actually help you achieve some of these goals. So let's talk a little bit about Wish. Wish was founded in 2010, and we started our e-commerce or mobile commerce site in 2013. We have since then become a leading mobile commerce platform in the US and the EU. We have a couple other huge kind of markets that are growing up as well, Latin America, as well as Northeast Asia, and certain smaller areas in Eastern Europe that are also doing very well. Our mission was pretty simple. We wanted to bring an affordable and entertaining mobile shopping experience to our customers, and that's what sets us apart. We are ultimately a mobile-first company. When we first built out our e-commerce platform, we built it out on mobile. We started with mobile first. We started with mobile only. So our experience is highly, highly curated for a mobile shopping experience. And that's what sets us apart. Let's talk a little bit about how our app works. We use data to back every one of our decisions. And we also use data to try to create the most curated and personalized shopping experience. As these images would show here, you can kind of see how a customer's journey might look. When they first join and they first start up on the app, we'll ask them for a bunch of inputs. We'll ask them what kind of categories they're interested in, maybe their age, maybe their gender. So we can kind of start with a little bit of a generally curated feed for them. Once they come into the app, they'll then be able to start browsing, clicking, buying, converting, all of that stuff. And all of those inputs will tell us what they're truly interested in. So in this example, this person sees a bunch of different categories. They pick on the earphones, and then that's when we realize, okay, this person's probably interested in electronics and or earphones, and we'll start showing them similar products like that. What this does is it creates a truly curated and personalized experience that is customized to every single person. So every person has a distinct app feed and a distinct experience on our platform. And that's what makes it so addicting and so engaging. And it's also one of the biggest reasons why we stand out in the current marketplace platform landscape. We're also one of the best and most reviewed shopping apps in currently the Google Play Store, Android Store, as well as the Apple App Store. One thing that really makes us stand out is that our users are super engaged. So only against AliExpress, eBay and Amazon also have lower reviews, whereas we have about 7.8 million reviews and 4.5 stars. So it shows that not only are our users really satisfied with using our app, they're also really engaged and like to give us feedback. And we take that feedback into account and make sure that the product continues to become better and continues to improve over time. I also wanted to share a little bit about what Wish looks like in the press and what Wish looks like in the spotlight. So outside of just your general advertising and promotions that we might do for our sellers on the platform, we also make sure as a brand, as a company, that we're kind of getting our name out there and we're making sure that our users understand what we're invested in and what we're spending our time on. So I'm sure many people have seen that we sponsored the Lakers jersey. So we have our Lakers jersey patch currently, and luckily this year the Lakers have made it into the final, so hopefully they win and can't wait to see what that looks like. We also sponsored the World Cup last year. We did a bunch of different commercials with a couple of the huge stars. And that really was kind of to cater to our European audience. Make sure that the European audience and users know that we're there and we're investing and we really care about, their experience and they care about what the branding looks like there. And then we also did a UFC boxing sponsorship back when Mayweather and McGregor fought a couple of years ago. So it's kind of a little bit of a look of how we kind of publicize ourselves and what our press looks like. So now you have an idea about Wish as a company. Let's talk a little bit about what the global Wish user actually looks like. As of now, we have about 100 million monthly active users across about 100 or plus countries. So that tells you how much global reach we have. We span nearly all of the countries in the world, and we really do value and care about a good global shopping experience. So not only does that mean we can reach all users from all ends of the earth, but we also want to make sure that our sellers have the opportunity to sell to all of those different users. So this is our global customer base. The sliding scale here in terms of color signifies user density. So as expected, right, we kind of looked at it from the retail e-commerce sales standpoint worldwide as well. A lot of our users are based in the United States and Europe. Asia is a lighter area color just because, as we saw too, with $2.4 trillion worth of global sales, Asia's got quite a bit of powerhouse marketplaces there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that our Asian users are not using Wish very often. And then two areas of note here that are definitely growing very quickly and rapidly are Latin America, we noted here with Brazil being one of our larger areas, and of course, Australia on the far right there. It's also a growing area for us. If we go further into specifics and more granularity, you'll kind of look at what our Western European customers look like. So of course, big 5 EU countries are always very big for us. currently, I guess, EU countries. So UK, France, Spain, Germany, Italy, those are all very good areas for us. But something of interest that we've noticed is that we actually have a lot of Swedish, Norway, and Denmark customers as well. So in general, it's looking like, our app is kind of just consistently spread across a bunch of different areas, and a lot of our users are interested in shopping, no matter which region they're in. So this will be a very good opportunity for you to have that global reach. If we look a little bit about our Wish customer demographics, I kind of already talked about our global reach, US, Canada, Europe, South America, Australia. Something that is really also interesting is that we don't really only span on coastal cities. So if we just took the US as an example, Amazon and other marketplaces tend to have very kind of high income grossing users on the coasts. So Los Angeles, Seattle, New York, Miami, those might be areas where people have a little bit more higher disposable income, so they can use it more. They can purchase more items, and they can always, get Prime or use higher priced products more often. For us, we actually cater to kind of middle America. And we actually cater to a lot of the users that are kind of in that middle range or lower range even. So what you would call maybe the invisible population. A lot of the products on Wish are straight from manufacturers, so the products are cheaper. But because of the convenience and the usability of having everything on mobile, we can actually reach a much larger demographic that isn't only targeted to your tier 1, tier 2 cities. And with that, about 90% plus of Wish orders are actually made on the mobile device, which kind of solidifies what I was talking about earlier with how we are a mobile first platform. Also on that topic of kind of spanning a very large population, not just only, first tier or coastal cities, over 50% of our users are actually using Android. So that's a much larger reach, and it actually encompasses a much larger user base. A little bit more about kind of our gender demographics here. 60% of our users are female, 40% of our users are male. And a really interesting point here is about 60% of our users are actually under 30 years old. So a lot of marketplaces are after the millennials, they're after the Gen Z users, and really kind of Wish has locked in that user base. One, because of the convenience of shopping on mobile, but two, because of that curated, personalized kind of customized experience where it makes it really addicting and really fun. That's kind of what has attracted a lot of our younger users as well onto the platform. And on average, our users spend about 10 minutes a day on the app, which is typically, if you think about it, when it comes to shopping, a lot longer, just because when people are shopping on desktops or whatnot, they already have something in mind. They go in and they search for it, and then they check out. Maybe doesn't take more than 3 to 5 minutes. But with us, because it's a browsing experience and it's a discovery experience, users tend to forget how long they've been on the app, and they tend to continue to scroll and check out things because it's just so much fun. So how does our typical Wish user shop? So like I mentioned before, it's a little bit of a window shopping experience on your mobile phone. Now that we can't do that outside as often as before, this is a really good opportunity for our users to just continue browsing and checking out new things and seeing how new things work. Our average order value on our app currently is about $30 to $50. And then our top US areas are Miami, New York City, Portland, Houston, LA. I mentioned a little bit about how those first tier cities are really popular, right? But not a lot of places will think about like Portland or Houston as much as, LA, Miami, New York City. But we also still have a lot of users in those areas because at the end of the day, when you have a higher disposable income, you're just always looking out to shop a little bit more. And our number one category is fashion. So let's talk a little bit about the top selling product categories on Wish in 2019. Like I mentioned, fashion is one of our biggest at 25.2%. We even split out fashion accessories as well at 16.3%, showing how big that category for us is. A second kind of growing category that's been really popular recently is electronics and gadgets, as well as home decor and floor care. Recently on the electronics and gadgets side, I think because people are stuck at home and they can't really go anywhere, TVs, gaming products, electronic devices for games and, listening to music, watching TV, those types of products do really well on the platform currently. Health and wellness is also a product category that has increased for us quite a bit in 2020, and home decor and floor care has also increased because people are stuck at home doing DIY projects and things like that. So that's a little bit of a breakdown of the top selling categories on our platform. And additionally, we do have a lot of branded products being sold on Wish, whether it's by the direct brand seller or by resellers. We've seen that, although Wish may be known for having a lot of cheaper products or a lot of unbranded products, we actually do have a very large selection of branded items on the platform. So if you have branded items or even your own brand that you'd like to sell globally, Wish is a really, really good place to do that. All right, so now that we've kind of gone through the background of Wish and what the global reach of Wish looks like, how will you grow with Wish? Or how can Wish actually help you reach that global customer and also help you operationally get there without having to think too much or having too many headaches of figuring out what it means to actually reach a global seller? So just a couple of background statistics on selling with Wish. So Wish has about 500,000 registered merchants currently. We do about 2 million items sold daily and about 150 million items available across about 100 plus countries. So in general, the volume is looking really good. A lot of our 500,000 merchants are based across the globe. We have users in China, we have sellers in the US, we have sellers in Europe, we have sellers in Northeast Asia and Japan, Korea, Brazil, Mexico. It really spans the entire globe. And that kind of solidifies how important worldwide and global commerce is currently. So you really want to take advantage of this if you haven't already. So I talked a little bit about before how we can help sellers grow and how we curate and how we have a recommendation engine for our users, but we also run advertising for our sellers to make sure that they're being targeted to the right customers in certain regions and in certain geos. So this is an example of one of our Wish carousels on Facebook. We run this external advertising and we run it for our sellers complimentary. So if your product fits with what the user is we're targeting, your products will usually show up in these external advertisements and kind of direct more sales over to you. You can kind of see what this looks like blown up. And we also do it for a lot of brands as well. We will figure out, kind of how to collaborate with different brands to make sure that they get the exposure that they need in not only the right geos, but also with the right targeted customers as well. And we also do a lot of social media marketing and social media promotion with a lot of our different sellers as well. So this is an example of our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram pages. And we've also recently launched a TikTok page that is actually getting really, really popular with our influencer feeds, as well as our user images and our user-generated content. We just have overall a really engaged global community. Now let's talk a bit about programs. So how can we actually help you differentiate yourself on the platform? And how can we help you reach a global user? How do we help you even within domestic areas as well? One of our programs is called Wish Express. The way that this program works is akin to a Prime, but not entirely. So with Wish Express, we require that our sellers can deliver a product to a customer within 5 business days from order purchase. What this does is this actually shows the seller that it shows the user that you are a domestic seller located in country. Some of our sellers have seen up to 3x more exposure, and it really does attract customers who want their products quickly. And it really does kind of differentiate you to an international seller in that domestic location. I know we're talking about global selling and things of that sort, but if you actually do have that logistics advantage within country, we want to make sure that that's being shown and exposed so that our users can understand, okay, this product is coming internationally, but I know that I can buy this product and get it really quickly. It's particularly important with those types of seasonal campaigns, like Halloween's coming up, as well as Black Friday and Christmas is coming up. That's when these types of programs are really important. We also have a program called Fulfillment by Wish, or FBW, that will help you with your overseas shipping. So this kind of goes into that global selling concept that we talked about earlier. So we want to talk about how FBW can help you handle your shipping. So we have warehouses in all over the world. We have warehouses in China. We have warehouses in Europe, as well as the US, and will help you reach customers in all of these different regions. All of the last mile shipping and warehouse issues will be handled by Wish. And we can also increase customer satisfaction because we'll let customers who have received their orders leave better reviews since they're getting products much faster. And with FBW, you will also get guaranteed Wish Express, which will give you that potential 3x exposure and gain. Some new things about Fulfilled by Wish recently. We actually launched a new partnership in the US, which actually can provide 2-day nationwide delivery. So particularly for you sellers that are globally based, maybe sellers who are in Europe or sellers who are in Asia, this program will help you reach US users within 2 days. And you don't have to worry about any of that last mile fulfillment because we're able to handle all of that for you. Another program that we have that can kind of help you control, what your current exposure looks like or how you can get extra boosts for your products is a product called Product Boost. This is it's kind of like paid advertising on the platform. So you can kind of see in that image there, a little ad button will show up underneath the product so that our customers know that it is an advertised product. But it definitely helps you rank much higher in customer feeds and helps you decide what types of products you actually want extra exposure on. We've actually had some proven success in certain internal case studies that we've done with some of our sellers, and they've seen 62% increases in impressions since using Product Boost. This is a really good opportunity and a really good tool for you to kind of start boosting that momentum in the very beginning when you first start on a platform. And definitely is a very good tool to reach a lot of global audiences and easy to target which users you actually want to sell to. And another product that I did want to tell you about, and this is a product that is wholly unique to Wish, is called Wish Local. So I talked a lot about global selling and selling on e-commerce. And this is an area that we've really invested in over the last couple of years to kind of tie together omni-channel, global selling, and e-commerce selling all together. So the way Wish Local works is that we have thousands and thousands of Wish pickup locations spread across the entire globe. These are brick and mortar retail stores that are located in every country that we have a network in. And the sellers there can put their products into those stores so that our users can pick up same day or day of for some of the products that are being purchased. Additionally, sellers who actually own those local retail stores or brick and mortar stores can actually upload their products onto Wish as well and also sell to reach a wider audience. So if you were, let's say, a mom and pop shop located in, the middle of California, and you could only sell to the Californian people who are around you at the time, now you can use Wish Local to upload your products onto the Wish platform and reach the entire global audience. You can ship products out from your store if possible, or you can also store your products in other stores in our huge Wish Local network. And now your products are having a global reach across the entire globe. We have in-store promotions on Wish, and we can also promote some of our services and our products as well to some of our local stores as options. Some numbers on what Wish Local looks like. So I mentioned it a little bit before, about 40,000 stores in about 40 plus countries, and we're already doing about 40,000 pickups daily. Some of these images here are what the actual pickup stores look like. So in the local store, there will be an image or a sticker for a Wish Pickup Now or Pickup Here tab. And when users can go to the stores, they just scan a barcode and they can get their product immediately. An extension of the Wish Local network is a program that we have called Fulfillment by Store. Very similar to Fulfillment by Wish, but this one is specific to stores. So previously with Fulfillment by Wish, you would be storing your products in our warehouses and we would be shipping them for you last mile. With Fulfillment by Store, what we actually do is we spread your products across through our store network. So let's say you are a US-based seller, but you wanted to sell in Europe and last mile shipping to Europe is just too expensive, or even first mile shipping to Europe is just too expensive. You could utilize our FBW plus FBS programs to now actually store your products in some of our FBS stores directly in Europe. So when a customer purchases the product, they can actually just go straight to their corner shop or whatever shop is nearby them a couple blocks away and just go pick up that product day of. In general, we've seen some really great feedback here with our customers. They love to be able to go pick up products really quickly, especially things that they need urgently. And they also love the experience of lowered shipping costs because it doesn't cost that much for us to help them pick the products up themselves in the store. And they really love the convenience of being able to get the product the day that they purchase it. So this is a really, really unique program that is just unique to Wish, but has also kind of opened up our doors to global selling because now we have this huge network, not just in the US, not just in Europe, but also in Latin America, also in Asia, where we can reach all of these different customers in a whole new shopping experience. I know I talked a lot, and I know I talked a lot about Wish and a lot about global shopping and such, and I know there's a lot of information to absorb, but I will be available for the Q&A after this. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out there. But we also left kind of some of our information here as well. So if you have any questions, our team of sales teams here and account management teams here will be able to assist you at merchants@wish.com. And we do also have a virtual booth, so feel free to stop by and talk to our team and get to understand a little bit more. I know global selling sounds really daunting, and especially if you haven't done it before, it seems like it could be really difficult, but Wish is here to help you along with every step of the way and make sure that you can be successful and also just not have to deal with all of the headaches of what it means to be a global seller and how to be a global seller. Hopefully what I shared today was really interesting, and we really look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.